about regulations and other policies in India. Now moving on to the European Union. Europe and US are always a golden standard for any sort of regulations or something. Environmentally, they have very good policies and regulations because they are a much earlier developed country, meaning they tried out everything that we are trying now. Okay, we are having facilities that was already there for the past decade in developed countries, so they have good knowledge on these things. If you take a view, EU countries have identified sewage sludge as a significant contributor to agricultural land contamination and develop high-level strategies for sewage sludge management in their member states. This is the classic thing about EU. One country has good policy, it can be implemented throughout the EU. Okay? And then the strategy emphasizes collaboration among multiple stakeholders, different countries. And a key component involves revisiting regulatory directives to address connection between sewage sludge and microplastics. Alright? Microplastics is a major problem in sewage sludge also. We have seen in previous classes also any sort of microplastic from a material or a clothing or even you discard something that will end up in the sewage one. The sewage is treated, it comes to the sludge. It's not treated, it's end up into the water bodies and to the ocean. And the strategy also prioritizes development of, another key point mentioned here is circular economy, encouraging sustainable practice of sewage sludge. In a very good healthy microbiota sewage sludge, okay, you have a lot of biomass. You have a lot of biomass that can serve as a good manure for the land. Okay, and the policy also advocates for advanced technology for processing in wastewater treatment itself. If you are treating the wastewater properly, naturally the sewage sludge will be healthy and much better. And then EU Parliament adopted a directive EU 2019-904 to reduce environmental and health impacts of plastic products, focusing more on single-use products and oxo-degradable plastic products and fishing gears. Alright? And then member states are encouraged to reduce single-use plastics, and EU intends to pursue this broad approach further to make it better. Now EU was there. Taking a step higher, UN is there. What is the UN's role? It gives global directive. EU, within the EU Union only they will act. The UN has the power and capability to control the whole world or advocate to the whole world. Okay? Now UN highlights the severe impact of ocean plastic pollution on marine life and human livelihoods are dependent on that. Something like a life cycle, or what do you call that in your history or geography lessons you find, right? Food cycle, okay, environmental cycle. If it ends up in soil or water, it will end up in our stomach and our health will be impacted. Due to widespread pollution effects, UN incorporated marine plastic and microplastics under 13 of its 17 Sustainable Developmental Goals, SDGs. All the countries are following. All our study, practice, everything is aligning with the SDGs. SDG 14 specifically addresses ocean conservation and sustainable use of marine resources. Just because we have marine resources, we cannot excessively use or discard. And then target 14.1 within SDG 14 aims to prevention and significantly reduce all marine pollution, focusing on land-based pollution sources by 2025. We being here, we may not be so much aware about it. But if you really look at the websites or the outcomes or the agendas of UN or WHO with respect to microplastics, you will find a lot of points discussed globally, problems that are discussed globally. Very developed countries will be a major negotiator there, but very small countries such as Hawaiian Islands or some Fiji Islands, they will be the major advocate in that because they feel the heat. Their shores are affected, their livelihood is affected. We being a vast country, if one port is affected, we go for another port, but not for them. It's a very small island. Okay?